What if Tom and Jerry and what if the Chronicles of Narnia, the Silver Chair happened? This is fan fiction. Ding! Well, it's time to do a Narnia fan fiction. This time, the movie everyone's been asking me to try on, the Narnia, the Silver Chair. Now, problem is, there was only a book based on this. There was only a book called Narnia, the Silver Chair. It was going to be turned into a movie originally, but the movie fell through. So we don't have a movie anymore, so we don't have a script that the directors made. So sadly, without a script made by the directors, I don't know what the Narnia Silver Chair film could involve. But I could make my own. A movie that takes place after Narnia Voyage of the Dawn Treader. That will instantly connect with Narnia, with my Alice in Wonderland Avengers film. Now, with all that being said, let's get started. Now, how would they return to Narnia? Well, I know how they would return to the magical world of Narnia. Edmund, Susan, Lucy, and Peter would return to Narnia via an Alice in Wonderland way, through a looking glass. They would enter Narnia through a looking glass. As Peter, Lucy, and their two sisters, and their brother and one, as Lucy, Susan, and her two brothers enter the looking glass. Now, are they still kids? No. Lucy is now there. This movie takes place two years after Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Lucy is now Actually, the kids are now living in Narnia, because turns out at the end of Voyage of the Dawn Treader, Lucy's revealed to be the Queen of Narnia. Susan is teaching Even though Susan doesn't appear in Voyage of the Dawn Treader, she will appear in this movie, as Susan went to college in the first movie. So that means Susan doesn't make an appearance in Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which is very sad in my opinion. The movie begins with Susan returning home. Her brothers and sisters hug her with Lucy noticing a wedding ring. Both of the brothers are not, and basically all the brothers return in this movie. Peter and Susan both return in this movie. They weren't seen in Narnia, the Voyage of the Dawn Treader. So in this movie, I'm changing it up. The brothers are finally, the three siblings are back together again. With both of them having fiancés. As we see Edmund return with his fiancée. As Lucy actually starts to cry. Her family will be divided again once they get married. She doesn't want that to happen again. Their family was divided once, and she doesn't want that to happen again. Then a looking glass sparks, as the three children touch the looking glass, as the portal reveals to be a portal to Narnia. As they are whisked away back to Narnia. Dun dun dun. Ding! The cast. Well, by all means, we're going to have some of the original cast return. Most of the original cast are returning for this Narnia film. The only difference is Susan isn't played by her voice actress from the first two. Walden, I thought these films were made by Disney. Susan is now voiced by Mackenzie Foy, the same actress who played Clara in the Nutcracker film. When her brother does make an appearance as Peter is voiced by his same actor from the first film. As he is still played by Noah Hurley. But the only difference is Lucy. Lucy has grown up. Rachel Henry plays Lucy. She played Lucy once in Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe as her older self. The villain. The villain is now the Mouse King. Played by Sharon Bowen Cohen, who played Time in Alice Through the Looking Glass. More on his plot later. Sacha Baron Cohen will play the Mouse King. We'll get to his backstory later. As they arrive in Narnia, they're reunited with the Lion and Prince Caspian. They're reunited with Aslan and Prince Caspian. As Aslan explains about the Mouse King, as Susan and Henry would hug the lion, Aslan sees the wedding ring. Congratulations to the both of you. As he sees Lucy's sudden expression, he notices something is wrong. But they have to get to the castle. They'll talk there. When they arrive at the castle, they're reunited with Prince Caspian, still played by his voice actor from the first three installments. The villain of In my opinion, Prince Caspian is one of my favorite Narnia characters. So seeing him get underused in Narnia was very weird. as he sees the wedding rings, he just smiles, doesn't even say a word. As he explains what they're up against. He explains after the White Witch's exile, there was a siege of power in the frozen lands that she used to call home. Even though Narnia tried to investigate those lands, they were stopped by an army of mice. The army of mice was under the control of a king, the Mouse King. As they explain that they'll help him because they're always willing to help a person in need. This is where this movie would play out differently. Ding! Part 2. Act 2. Negotiation. Lucy, Susan, and her two brothers walk together. As the brothers and sisters walk together, Susan tries to ask her sister Lucy what's wrong, but Lucy doesn't even speak. Lucy then speaks, saying that she's scared that their families will change after their weddings. This is when her sister hugs her close, saying that nothing will tear them apart. Even though the White Witch tried that, she used manipulation to do it. Lucy wipes the tear away as the movie begins its third act. As the action set pieces commence. As the action set pieces of the film finally commence, we are given a lot of action set pieces. The first action set piece is between Caspian and the Mouse King. Those two have a back and forth battle as the brothers and sisters defeat the mice. The Mouse King is close to slaying Caspian when Asylum bites into his leg, crippling the mouse. As Lucy pulls out the sword, the Mouse King is not dead. He's only stunned. As the Mouse King is defeated and thrown into the river. As the Dawn Trader arrives to take him away to the ice prison. To an ice prison southeast of Narnia, where the Mouse King will call his new home. The sisters return to Narnia, and the sisters return to England, where Alice is waiting. You showed great skill. Who are you? I'm Alice, and I want to talk to you and your siblings about my Avengers initiative. We cut to an after-credit scene, which shows our final Avenger. We have our Thor for this, but I want to use all three Narnia siblings. They know what they're up against. So in order to defeat the White Witch, we'll need all three siblings. As a post-credit scene shows one more thing. We see something frozen in the ice as Captain America is found frozen. We'll still have Captain America the First Avenger in this Alice MCU. Because the first Avenger found frozen in the ice will be our final Avenger. post-credit scene, we had moved to an after-credit scene as we see Captain America punching a punching bag. Very similar. As we see Alice walking in. As the movie fades to black, it reads, Alice will return. By I mean I'll be doing starting phase 2 in 2024. The Avengers movie will be later this year. Next year I'll begin phase 2. I already have empty dates leading into the summer of next year. I have empty dates leading into the summer months. Or after the summer, I'll begin Summer of Slashers again. So be prepared for that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. The Alice Avengers will return to Wonderland to face one threat that all of them can't defeat alone. The White Witch. After her wand was discovered in a after-credit scene, we were given hints about who was the real villain of this crossover event. I love the Chronicles of Narnia. My auntie owns all 2 movies, and I've seen all 2 of them. I saw both of them. I even saw the weirdly made live-action Narnia film that was released. Let me tell you, the live-action film, not a good one. The animated film, not a good watch. Let me tell you, the UK animated version, not a good watch. I wouldn't watch it. But if you want to watch it and spare yourself some childhood ruining trauma if you've seen the live action film, enjoy it. You'll have a good time. We have one more after credit scene, as we see the Mouse King talking with someone. The Mouse King is talking with the White Witch in hologram. As the White Witch is infuriated that he let the children that took her kingdom away leave. She wants revenge on Lucy and her siblings for what they've done. Technically, she earned that defeat herself, but hey, if she wants to blame them, be my guest. My favorite movie was Narnia, but Alice in Wonderland still stays true to my heart. The White Witch isn't planning on conquering Wonderland. The White Witch believes that somewhere in Wonderland lies a portal to Narnia. She wants to return to Narnia to reconquer it. The White Witch wants to use the portal to Narnia to return and reconquer the land. And then seek revenge on the 3 children who defeated her. As she explains to let the children come. She wants revenge on them the old-fashioned way. Bum. 3 after credit scenes, 1 cliffhanger. Because on the bottom it says Lucy, Philip. It says Lucy, Susan, Philip. It says Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy will return, as the three of them will be the final piece of this Avengers puzzle. We can actually see this as the Avengers plot I was building up in my What If Alice Was in the MCU series, where Alice needs to put together a new Avengers roster. And this new roster includes these kids. I'll see you guys next time for part 2. I'll see you guys next time for the final film of this puzzle next time.